Okay. So here's where we start. This is a typical project. Here I've got the freeform piece right here. And if you look at step 1, all we're going to ask you to do, all you need to do is make one little diagonal line. I'll redraw it. Across that quadrant. And you should all, just as a matter of principle, you should all have the same 9-square grid, but because you all did your own unique placement of that initial 20 by 20 square, the position, this quadrant size and positioning of all your grids should be unique in principle. So what we're doing is that everybody's grid, everybody is going to have 5 column bays going across the long axis of their sheet, and everybody is also going to have 4 column bays going across the short axis of their sheet, and the column bays will be related to your geometry, but each set of column bays, even though they're the same size, their relative position will be different. Okay. So after you draw this first line across here, I guess I could draw on another layer and get some different color. Let's draw there. Yeah. Layer. Good. I'll redraw this just so we get a different color going here. So I'm going to make this first line across here. Really? Oh, it's because it's so dark. We'll make it yellow. All right. So first go to this, doesn't matter which of these quadrants you do, it could be any of them. Draw a line across there. This will give you an easily snappable center line from the midpoint, and just pull that line across to here. And after you make that line, go ahead and create your first 2 columns. How did I do that? Yeah. First 2 columns. Your columns, here's something to write down because it's not on the handout. So I should use my switch. So your columns are going to be 1 foot in diameter. So after, I'm going to set my first 2 columns, and I'm going to set them from the intersection of this inside line and my new yellow line, and I'm going to draw a circle there. And if I want a diameter of 1 foot, what do I type in? If I'm working in inches? 6 inches, thank you very much. And then I can copy this easy from center to perpendicular or intersection. I have my first 2 columns already. I am so happy. Okay? Now that I have my first 2 columns, it actually gets really easy because I'm going to draw a large circle to space the rest of these out. You can do this however you want. You could actually, you know, the most efficient way to do this would just be to copy this. On the handout, I drew circles to do this so it was more graphic. But you could easily do this and just run these out. Now watch what happens on mine, because mine's a little challenged. So my column goes off my site. That's okay. I'm not putting a column there. I'll enter. I'm going to copy one more time. Take this over. Copy from the one behind it. Go to center. And now I have a little tiny bay right here. I have a full bay, I have a full bay, a full bay, and almost a full bay, which means I have 5 bays and 4 columns. Any questions about that? Let's find out how big our column bay is in this axis. Can anybody guess? It's pretty easy, even though it says so on the sheet. Center to center, 20 feet exactly. It's 20 feet because this is the width of the initial box that I made. Okay? Now, so now I've got all my line space there. I'm going to go ahead and do a grip edit and pull this line out to the end so I get an axis for this line of columns. And I'm going to change its line type just to be, you know, a little graphically clear. I'll change its line type to dashed so we can see it. I might go hidden if I'm going to print, but for you guys I'll put dashed. And once I have that, it's pretty easy. I'm going to copy down. I'm going to take this whole piece of information, the center line and the columns, and I'm going to copy from here down to here. And now I've got my second line of columns. And as it says on the sheet, if I go from center to center here, I get 15 feet, 10 and 7/16 inches. Everybody see that? That's the correct. So you should check yourself after you make this first set of columns. Now that I have these columns, I'm going to draw a line, another vertical line. I'll just go from edge to edge and copy that line, or move that line, I should say, from intersection. I'll force the intersection. From intersection to the center of my new column line. So now I have another column axis defined. And then I'll match properties by typing MA, and I'll select my dashed line type and make that line dashed as well. Once I've done that, I'll just copy this down so that I have all my cross axes defined. And I'm going to go ahead and take the center. If I don't get the snap I want, I'll go ahead and force that snap. So now I have all my cross axes. I'm still missing another line of columns down here, but now that's easy because I can just window this information out of here, go to my center, pull that down, and there I have it. And you'll see that I wound up with almost exactly what I have down here. Exactly what I have down here. So, since all of you, so I just want to, maybe I should stop this recording.